On today's episode, we sit down with Hollywood hunk Hugh Jackman to discuss celebrity gossip and staying fit. I offer advice to a struggling fan who will never have the chance to thank me in person. Later, we explore why my boyfriend Sammy won't reply to my texts. If you like the show, tell your friends. And if you don't like the show, keep it to yourself. It's time for Famous Podcast. Famous Podcast. It's a famous podcast. It's a very, very famous podcast. Would you listen to that clean sound? Welcome to Famous Podcast, where each guest is more famous than the last. I'm your host, Jean-Luc Bouchard, aka the Sweetheart Prince of New York. And I am thrilled beyond my years to have a celebrity guest of Mr. Jackman's caliber on today's episode. In just a bit, we'll talk about his love of singing most songs pretty okay, as well as the crushing responsibility that comes with being a real-life X-Man. And before you ask, yes, don't worry, I'll definitely be quizzing him about his new hair. Oh god, is he back? Debbie, don't open the door, just ignore it for now, okay? No, I'm gonna talk to him afterward, it's not a problem. Oh my god, that is such bad audio. Alright, give us like a minute, alright? Jesus Christ. Sorry about that, folks. Nothing to worry about here. We're about to get to our celebrity interview, but before we can bring Mr. Jackman out of the green room, let's take a quick detour so we can talk about green juice. That's right. It's time to introduce a brand new health and wellness segment that I like to call Cold Sweat. Debbie, hit the music. Debbie, hit the music!
You're looking kinda tired, you're slouching in your chair, leaving lots to be desired. Is that mayo in your hair? Health and wellness is upon us, that's a promise, not a threat. So grab some quinoa and get real bourgeois, because it's time for Cold Sweat.
Welcome to Cold Sweat, the health and wellness segment of Famous Podcast. As you can imagine, given my status and stature in the community, I receive a veritable onslaught of messages each day from my fans asking, how do I do it? How do I stay looking so young, so toned, so gaping, so raw? I mean, the list goes on. And I do my best to link these fans to my referral code from the nutritional supplement company that paid off my parking tickets. But I figured it was time to more generously disseminate my wisdom on topics like personal fitness, dieting, beauty, wellness, meditation, and all the other stuff your insurance won't cover. And after Planet Fitness permanently banned me from lecturing outside their gyms, I decided, why not try a podcast segment instead? In today's inaugural Cold Sweat, I'd like to talk about food, the Bert to Drinks Ernie. In an effort to return to my pre-podcast weight, I've recently hopped on the bandwagon of the latest fad diet called 6 Only, where you're only allowed to eat 6 foods of your choice and nothing else. I've noticed that most people doing this diet have tried to balance out their meals by picking one veggie, one meat, one fruit, one grain, etc., but I'm not a dumb idiot, so I only chose foods that I know I like to eat, so I will never get sick of them and quit. For my 6 only, I've chosen lemon heads, candied pecans, fennel, candied walnuts, coleslaw, and bazooka gum. The rules are you're allowed to eat as much as you want, but you cannot stray from the 6 foods you've picked, even if you're going insane from eating too much bazooka gum for breakfast. And honestly, I don't want to jinx anything, but the results have been amazing for me so far. I'm only 3 days in, and I've already lost a ton of weight just in the amount of hair that's falling off my body. By next episode, I hope to see the same result in my nails and auxiliary teeth. Hold on, folks. Hugh, you gotta calm down, alright? I know it's hot in here, but it's because the studio owner is trying to sweat us out, because he's a freaking crumb bum! But don't worry, we're gonna get the AC back on soon, we're gonna get back on track, and Debbie, go get Hugh some ice cubes to suck on, alright? Well, folks, we're just about ready to get to our celebrity guest who, frankly, seems to be purring as impatiently as a wolverine. But first, I'm contractually obligated to read today's advertisement, or else I can't afford to keep buying the naming rights to constellations. That's right, it's time for an ad.
Time for an ad, so give me a beat. Yes, it's time for an ad, 'cause I need to eat. Oh, it's time for an ad to pay for the show. Yes, it's time for an ad, 'cause I need the dough.
Today's episode of Famous Podcast is sponsored by Amherst Griswold's Big House of Pizza Pies. Is your favorite food a big pizza pie? On your birthday, do you say, "Mommy, may I have a big pizza pie?" When father and brother return from the war in the tropics, will their first bite of American food be a big pizza pie? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you'll be deliriously happy to learn that Amherst Griswold's Big House of Pizza Pies is adding some new summer flavors to their seasonal menu, including Mango, 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 and Pizza My Heart, which is a delightful pun. Both pies contain salami. Folks, I don't know about you, but this ad is making me hungry. Although my boyfriend Sammy says I am no longer allowed to eat cheese, because it is the same as eating the flesh of the cow. Amherst Griswold's Big House of Pizza Pies is a proud sponsor of Famous Podcast, and I am a proud discounted customer of Amherst Griswold's Big House of Pizza Pies, where I receive every 13th pizza pie 1/3 cheaper, as a result of our bitterly negotiated contract. So why not eat your next meal down at Amherst Griswold's Big House of Pizza Pies, where every day is a holiday for people who love pizza, and a nightmare for those who don't. Let's hear that famous jingle.
Big old pizza pies, Amherst puts them in your mouth. So much cheese you can't deny. These are tasty bites you won't spit out.
Dude, get out of the studio. We're making audio magic here, all right? No, stop calling me a DJ. I'm not a DJ. I am a podcast celebrity. No, this isn't cereal. If this was cereal, do you think I'd be renting a crappy studio from a creep like you? I'm gonna get you the rest of the money in a couple of hours, all right? We got Hugh freaking Jackman in a chair 4 feet from you. Do you not see why this is important? To me, specifically me, I need this, all right? So why don't you go let my producer Debbie walk you through our financial situation, and I'll see you after, all right? All right, bye-bye, thanks. Do you see what I have to deal with? Do you see this? It's nuts. No, Hugh, shut up. I'm about to go back on mic, all right? Calm down. It's really unprofessional. Just wait for your intro. Now that we have that out of the way, let's make like a Wolverine and claw our way into the celebrity interview. Just as soon as we take some time to check in with my fans and read their thoughts on the show. That's right. It's time for Review Watch.
Review watch, review watch. I'm watching your reviews like a goddamn hawk.
Yes, I can pay him. Obviously, I can pay him, just not at this exact moment. So can you tell him that for me? All right? And Debbie, can you please remember to edit this part out this time? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. All right. Welcome to Review Watch. As listeners of the podcast know, I have Google alerts set up for every possible variation of my name, the name of this podcast, and the names of my former partners. So if any of you ever write a word about this show, or me, or Fujio, Olivia, Arush, Franklin, etc., I will see it. I will read it. I'll take a picture of it, print it out, stare at it. And you'd better hope it's positive, because in Review Watch, I will address it on the air. Unfortunately, today marks the 5th negative review watch in a row. Today's negative review was posted in a subreddit that's no longer active, on an anime-related topic I'm afraid to say out loud. But thankfully, I took a screenshot from my Amazon Fire phone before the FBI shut down that section of the site. The comment was written by user account deleted, and I'd like to take a moment to address account deleted directly here, so... You listening? You listening, man? Alright. I don't know what you think you heard about me, dude, but I never said that I was better than Jesus. I only said that it's safe to assume I am taller than Jesus until we get more data about his life on Earth. That's it. Most people were shorter back then. I read a big magazine article about it when I was waiting at the dentist, so let's just drop it. And that's Review Watch. As a reminder to listeners, you are in fact allowed to leave positive reviews about me online, and I will gladly reward you for them. Seriously, folks, go hug wild. Please. And speaking of hugs, my boyfriend Sammy recently told me that I am trash, and that trash belongs in the dump with the worms and the pigs. And though I usually love nothing more than one of his classic jokes, I only laughed at this one for a few minutes. If you'll indulge me, folks, I'd like to pull back the ribcage of my spotless public persona and give you an exclusive peek at the bruised heart that lies beneath. Fans of the show know that I love my boyfriend Sammy, and that Sammy will one day admit he loves me. But truth be told, some cracks are beginning to form in our formerly crackless relationship. We had a bit of a spat at a dinner party last week when I accidentally confused Genghis Khan and Condoleezza Rice. And to save face, Sammy had to call me stupid in front of all of his friends, which I completely understand. And listen, I will be the first to admit that there is a bit of an education gap between me and Sammy. Sammy attended Reed College in Portland, Oregon, where he majored in German and mathematics. I, of course, was the first Jewish student accepted into Remember Jesus and His Suffering University in Swamp Haven, West Virginia, where I majored in newspaper advertising. But despite this, I've always considered myself Sammy's near equal, like a very well-respected sidekick, or a butler you're also friends with. Lately, though, I'm starting to feel a little disrespected, like a butler whose pants you pulled down in front of the Duchess and her Turkish fiancé. He started doing this thing whenever I talk where he rolls his eyes and makes a windmill motion with his finger next to his head, and I'm finding it less and less romantic. There have been other little signs, too. Every time I drink water from one of his cups, he throws the cup away and says it's going to cup hell. And the last time I leaned in to kiss him, he ducked out of the way and held up an old tomato where his lips had been. Boy, was my face red. Anyway, I've decided I'm finally going to tell Sammy how I feel tonight on our date. We're going to a conversation hour at the German Society of New York, and I think I'll finally feel in my element there. I don't speak any German, but I am an absolute sponge when it comes to funny accents. Ei, governor! But enough of my sultry romantic life. It's time now for our celebrity guest, who's been waiting very patiently. As patiently as one Professor X, perhaps? But it looks like Mr. Jackman just stepped out to use the restroom, so let's use this time for our signature advice segment, Listener Questions.
Are you overwhelmed and overloaded, devoid of stronger stuff? Life is tough, meaning it's too much, but my advice is always just enough.
No, that's impossible. Just tell him to try the card again. Swipe it. Don't use the chip. Never use the chip, okay? Alright, just handle it. Okay. Welcome to Listener Questions. If you're shouldering the unbearable weight of existence and looking for advice, send me your questions, and I might just answer them on the show. Today's listener question comes from Christine in San Jose.
Hi, Famous Podcast. I started going to the gym recently, but I can't shake the feeling that everyone there thinks I don't belong. How do I become more comfortable at the gym? Thanks.
No, thank you, Christine, for asking that important question about gatekeeping and elitism at the gym. Here's your answer in the key of D. You don't possess meditative finesse at the gym. I'd sympathize, but I'm free from stress, and I'm thin. Wish I could pretend I've been there before, when you slipped in that puddle of your sweat on the floor. All that matters is you're trying your best. Some of us were born to press and curl, but for you it's a constant test. And sometimes you fail and people call you gym girl, like Did you see Gym Girl fall off the treadmill? Her earbuds got caught and she spun just like a drill. Take some solace in your flawless attack. You ain't here to persevere, nothing holds ya back.
Yeah!
Half the battle is just showing up, though the other half is much harder than that. If you're embarrassed by nefarious smirks, lots of laughter followed after your gymnasium quirks. Convince yourself they're just jealous jerks, then try crunches at home when that doesn't work. I hope that helped, Christine. I know it certainly made me feel better. And if you want to feel as good as Christine, record your question and send it in to askfamouspodcast@gmail.com. And if your question is worth the time it took me to read it, then I may just answer it with a song. Feel free to leave your name, city, or preferred pronouns if you want a shout out. But I know there's nothing my fans want more right now than for me to finally get Hugh himself onto the mic. So let's... What? No, we just got to the interview. Come on. Folks, this is a little unexpected, but I'm being told by my producer, Debbie, that we're about to get kicked out of the studio because we never, quote-unquote, booked the space to begin with. How convenient. Well, the joke's on you, Mr. Studio Man, because I got Hugh Jackman on my side. So Hugh, oh man, he already got through the window and he's running toward the parking lot. God, what a coward. All right, you got me. You know, without Hugh Jackman, you can definitely beat me up. So I'm going to start going. I'm just going to do a real quick sign-off, all right? No, super quick, really quick sign-off. Okay, just give me 1 sec. Folks, you know I hate to leave you hanging, but before we go, I'd like to make a quick plug to please... Shut up, all right? Just give me 1 second. God damn it. Sorry about that. I'd like to make a quick plug to please rate and review us online. Please subscribe wherever you download podcasts. Tell your smartest friends to give us a try. And if you want to help support the show and its creator, please check out patreon.com/famouspodcast. If you join our special guest tier, you'll have access to weekly Patreon-only content, including exclusive songs, posts, photos, and other stuff that is too stupid to make it onto the show. This week, Patreon supporters will have access to an extended demo version of Christine's listener question song, plus a photo of me looking like a snack. That's patreon.com/famouspodcast, or you can find us through famouspodcast.com. I'm going. Folks, his hand is on my arm, so I'll see you next week with another thrilling episode of Famous Podcast. See you then. Listen, you can't just do this to me, okay?
You have to go right now.
I pay my taxes.
Come over here. Okay?
No, I am a genius. Why would you... Do not push me. Are you serious? Are you pushing? I am going. Oh my God, give me a second.